All right. Fade that over. All right, so here we go. We are finishing up our Funhole Midnight mansion here. We want to get this thing done. So let's see, make sure I've got everybody set up over here. It's like I don't know what that says, but I'm going to go over here and get this. I'm going to find my affiliate. Affiliate. Okay, we'll copy that. We're going to bring this over. All right. So, yeah, we're going to finish this bad boy up. I'm excited. I'm ready for this to happen. I'll find me some, let's see, I want to do that. I think I want to start up from, there we go. All right, I figured I would get this up and going. Hey, Mitch. So, Mitch, you sent me the burger thing about the, what is it, the how to cook burgers in Texas, where they were boiling it and doing all that. Uh, total lie. Yeah, that I was watching that. I was like, my stomach's turning a little bit watching this thing. It's kind of gross. Okay, so we're gonna pull out our. We've got, of course, our haunted mansion here. We're on book 2. So let's see. Let me pull out book 2, and let's find out where we're at. Alrighty. Hey, Brick for Brains. Okay, so let's see. We are way back here. We're starting the last floor, which would be 11. So we're on bags 11, and we have F, which is our lighting kit stuff, then S, which is these plates here. So I'm going to kind of move that up here. I did go ahead and bring the little Ghostbuster car up here as well. And we're going to put that up here, and then I've got a bunch of build stuff on this table. I've got to clean some of this. This is getting ridiculous. All right, so we'll put that down here, and then we're looking for all the bag 11 things. So we got our S, which is our giant plate. So that's actually, it's good. We finally got rid of that bag. So we're down to spider webs on a sprue and our plate up here. It looks like, you know what, guys? I noticed that my main cam is not working, so I'm going to put it on this one. We're going to figure out, let's fade that. Let's figure out what's going on with the other cam here. Yeah, it's sometimes we got issues with some of our cameras, but at least we got, you know, the other camera there. We got it set up. So if anything, we'll just go from the booklet cam for the rest of the time, so that way we can see this. But I want us to be able to have some over the top stuff to see, but it's not always going to work that way. TikTok, you just kind of got it where you got this, and this is where we're working. All right. You're not here for the build, right? You're here for the stories. Is that what's going on? So we got 11. This will be good to kind of rest this giant box. 13. Got 12s right here. 11. And then 2 little bags of 14, and that's it, huh? Man. I will admit, so far, like, this build, when I first started, I was like, there's some issues I'm having. There's some things I don't necessarily like. But it has picked up and gotten good along the way. So, I'm super happy with this one. There's some things I was going to talk about on kind of like what you think of as like the Christianity end here in a minute about the first part of this bag that we're working on. So I was talking to, I think it might be Brick Building with Joe, It's another fellow builder that I follow, and he does a lot of Lumibricks stuff, but he's Christian, but he's very devout. And there were some aspects, he had thought about doing I think it was on one of his lives, and he had talked about thinking about doing this build until he said he saw it was a seance room that had a pentagram and all this on it. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to clear the air. I did go ahead and look quite a ways up into the directions to look. Now, yes, there is a seance room. You have to remember this is a haunted mansion, and, people do actually in the real world some very questionable things out there, right? So with that being said, and I'm going to pull the part out for you to see, it is not a pentagram. It is, however, a hexagram. So it's like a lined out, is that hexagon? Yeah, hexagon. So hexagram. When I watch Jang's other builds, because I watch him on YouTube a lot, and I enjoy seeing what he builds and everything, but he was even saying that it was a pentagram, that it was and it was this and that, and it's like, no, that's actually not the case. And the reason why I bring it up is that there's another thing that I want to pull up in here. Now, I'm not saying it's okay, but here we go. Okay. Let's see if I can pull it up there for the camera. So there's on this one, it's like a little brick. Here, I'll pull it up here for you to see. It has a six-sided star, almost like a Star of David, right? Which is like a Jewish star. But if it's kind of what it is, it looks like it's trying to mimic the it's a book called Solomon's Lesser Keys, which was a grimoire that was written way back in the days. It's supposed to be based on Solomonic magic, which, if you know history, Solomon in the books, it's not necessarily canon in the Bible, but in the books, he built the Great Temple of Jerusalem. He got all this stuff set, and people said that he did it through what was called Solomonic magic, that he had this great wisdom, kind of Enochian magic, as you would say. And we say Enochian, it would be like angelic magic, that he was able to basically make the demons do whatever he wanted, this and that, etc., etc. Well, the thing that you have to keep in mind is this. The grimoires were not written by King Solomon. Not at all. So they're kind of on their own. So whereas, Christian-wise, we're not supposed to be talking to ghosts, and there's certain things we're not supposed to do. We're not supposed to be seeking the advice of the dead. We're not supposed to be seeking the dead, because as the Greeks put it, it is daemon, which means invisible intelligences. So you have no idea who or what you're talking to. It's invisible, right? So those are things that you got to keep in mind. So with that being said, this whole thing with the seance room and stuff, and the fact this whole house has gone under, yeah, it makes sense. Hey, Sylvia, what's happening? It's good seeing you. All right, so I figure with that being said, now that we got it out of the way, this is not a pentagram. It's a hexagram. Yes, it is a conjuring room, as you would say. And if you watch The Conjuring, you can pretty much tell that anytime anyone's conjured anything, it doesn't work out to their favor. So keep that in mind, folks. All right. So here we go. We're going to start with this gigantic. This comes from our S-plate. This is a 16 by 16. So now we're building the whole roof of this. And when I say roof, I mean like we're connecting all this, and we're going to build up. And it'll probably be taller than this camera up here, which pretty good. But that being said, if I want to put this on a shelf, let's say if I want to put it in my city, that's one thing. If I want to put it on a shelf, I'm going to have to find a pretty tall shelf for it. It might have to go on top of something. So All right, so we got that. We got a 16, 2 by 16. So 4, 4, 4, and 4. And we're coming over here on the back of this. We're going to go 2 studs down, but 1 stud over. And that's what we got. Pretty easy, 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 easy stuff. Okay. Now, let's see. Let's go to our next page. We need a 4 by 12, a 4 by 6, and a 1 by 3. So let me find those. Hopefully everybody's doing good today. We got family plans, so it's like I wanted to get this done. I don't want to rush it. Like my whole family, they've gone out. They've got stuff that they're wanting to do today. So 4, 4, 4. So that's 12. And then let me check this. It's 4 by 8, 4 by 6. So it's just me at the house, and I'm trying to get this build done. So my focus is on this building, and I have been wanting. It's like one of those during the week. I was like, hey, maybe I should, get on here and do this. I'm like, no. Let me focus. And I did a couple bags out of turn, but for the most part, this whole thing has been live, and I've spread it out over, I think, 3 sessions. It's, okay, hey, Sylvie, it's the Midnight Haunted Mansion. So, oh, I got a book right here. It's this right here. And this is a cool build. There's a few things here and there that I was like, I'm okay about, but there's some easy fixes on it for sure. I know, like, with the boards in the back. Here, before we get started, let me pull it up. We'll kind of review like what we've built so far. So the first thing that we built was the little Ghostbuster car, which I absolutely love this. It's got a containment thing in the back. It's got the Call JL5 2020 boards. Oh, I'll show you the boards. Okay, so Sylvie's asking, she's like, what boards are we talking about? There are some dancing boards in the back of this build. So this thing, it is a full 32, I'm gonna fix that, 32 by 32 studs. So it's 10.8 and 10.8. So this thing is huge, right? It's got, let me kick on our lights here. Oh, press that down. There we go. Okay. So it's got a full light up. You've got the door. You've got this opening here. You've got, of course, lights, the toilet flashes. You've got all this stuff. Now, back here, if you open these up, you can... Oh, no. I'll fix it. You can open these up, and this actually turns out of the way, right? So on the... Here, let me fix this real quick. I can't believe I put too much pressure on that. Let me see what it is that fell, what I'm missing. Is it this? It's this, and looks like some other pieces. Okay. All right, so if you were to take this part off, right here on the bottom, you've got this guy, you've got the TV, possessed TV, and this. The boards right here, if you turn this, the chair turns around and these boards dance with our scared little guy on top there. And what happens is that if you don't position him the right way, like I position him where he's on the end of the board, but sometimes this board will fall a little too far and it'll get caught, and then the mechanism won't work. So what I've done is I just put him on the end where he kind of is a stopper, and then he will stop that board from going too far down. It's only like this one board right there is the one that just seems to kind of get stuck sometimes. But like I said, they're pretty, some of it's like fairly easy fixes. They're not, that's nothing too complicated. Now, real quick before we move on, I'm going to look to see where the part was. I want to find where my piece was that fell. Figure out what it is. I did find a Lego plate. So I've got a Lego plate over here that I guess was missing off something else. Well, that's not good. All right. I guess what'll have to happen is when I get to it, because I'm missing when I apparently broke this off, so this stud here gets caught sometimes, so there's like a hook and another piece right here. I'll eventually find it, so I'm just gonna set it right here, and we'll deal with that in a minute. That's gonna bug me, but I know it's in here somewhere. I just don't want to spend my whole time, because I'll spend the whole time and all of a sudden it'll become a show about cleaning this area instead of getting the build done. Maybe it fell in the garbage. Let's see. No, but I did find this goes to, it goes in there. I'll keep an eye out for it. Like I said, it's in here somewhere. It pops somewhere. We'll figure it out. I won't take out garbage or anything until I find the part. That's usually, it's not the first time something's fell. Not the last. Yeah, we'll get it. We'll get it. Okay, so here we go. We've got our 3 boards. So we're going to be going, let's see, we need one of these. So we're going to be going a 4x6 out, a 4x12 out, and we got our 1x3. So usually they're pretty good about reinforcing a lot of these floors. And that's, honestly, that's the first time I've had that happen on the wall. I've never had one pop off like that. So it tells me that it probably got stuck and I put too much pressure behind it. Which, it happens. It happens. It's sad. I want to find it. My thoughts are now on this one little piece, but it's like, I'm gonna have to wait. And it's kind of like life, man. All good things come to those who wait, right? Maybe. maybe not. Hey, thank you for sharing the live, Sylvia. Appreciate that. Okay. So we are building this floor up. Now this whole thing is going to be, it's got a seance room that comes up, and I believe it opens up over this, and then it's got a huge tower. So there's quite a bit to this. Let's see, I got that one. We're on 223, which we got a 4x8, 4x4, 2x8, 2, and a 4x8. Yep. All right. And make sure I got this oriented the right way. They do like to stack the plates in order to make things fit really well and to have plates reinforce each thing. Which, if you do it right and you kind of set the plates and press them in the very beginning, it makes it a very solid build. So when you do pick it up, you don't have to worry about them falling apart. Lumi's really good about that as far as like their ability to build floors and plates. They do a really, really good job. Bricks, for the most part, pretty good. That's the first time I've had that happen. But it's one of those companies I really, really enjoy. Eyes, but she can't shoot what she sees. As a dancer, and that's all that she knew. When you live in the desert, it's what pretty girls do. All right, and then we got a 1x5. Now, I don't often get a lot of 1x5s in Lego, which is kind of weird. But Lumi does have quite a bit of 1x5s. And I kind of like it because it keeps me from having to use like a 1x2 and a 1x3 or a 1x4 and then a what is it, a 1x, or just a 1x1. Usually when that happens, you get those 1x1s. It just feels a little chintzy. Just a little chintzy. Hey, John, how are you? All right. So, does it look like our picture? It does. Trucking along. Now, we do have this time a 4x4, a 1x2. This has been one of those that, like, storytelling for this particular set has been pretty good. Hey, what up, Em? Sylvie's here, too. Hi, VL Roofing. How are you? VL Roofing, you might have to look at this particular build once it's done. We're actually working on the roof. We're building the tile portion up. I'm cleaning today, so I'll be in and out. Well, what you cleaning? Your home? If it makes you feel any better, these Ghostbusters are trying to clean this home of evil spirits. All right. So we've got a 2x4, a 1x1, and a, what is this? A 1x1, 2x4, and a 1x6. So we're still, the house, yeah. So does that mean that you're cleaning the house of evil spirits? You know what? Before I get too involved in this, I'm going to skip ahead a little bit and see. So sometimes when I go to build on these, and I'll look, and I'm like, something doesn't... TayRay is such a nice man. What? No, I'm okay. I'm not a nice guy. And I tell my students all the time, I say, yo viejo malo, which means I'm a mean old man. Mean old man. Oh, I see what they're doing. Okay, so we're actually, so direction-wise, had to skip ahead to look, because sometimes I do that. But this thing is going to sit right in here. So we're actually going to be building this section here. I believe it's going to be for the trap door. So, oh, we've got an ice cream cone. Thank you so much, everybody. I appreciate that. Brick Dad, what's happening? Hey, Matt. Okay, so we've got this down, and looking at what we got, it looks right, but now we are building the next little section. So let's see, 5, 5, that's 10, 1x6, and then 1x6, 2x4. All plates, and it's all black and then like the dark red. I actually like their dark red. I was mean with the middle schoolers on my bus the other day. I lost my... Hey, you know what? You know, I had an incident happen in my classroom. So I teach art, right? Art buses, things that are a little bit less in structure, can easily get out of hand really fast. And I had a student being evaluated, being watched, etc. And they came in, and I mean, the kids were like crazy. They were arguing back and forth in the middle of instruction. I was embarrassed. I was like, come on now, get this. And there's a guy from district watching. I'm like, come on, this is ridiculous. Could not get control, and they were all over the place. Had to call for backup. So they came into my class the other day, right? And I get them once a week, which is sometimes like a detriment to me, because it's like, with me wanting to make sure that I have procedures and plans set into place, it's really hard because, again, I get them once a week. And so they came in, and automatically, fighting, right? And yeah, on the bus, like, you can't see them. It's like, we can see you, and we have cameras on the bus these days, man. So like, I didn't do nothing. It's like, really? Because when I pull up that footage, let's see if that's the same story, right? So these kids, they're just like arguing back and forth, and it's already causing a problem. So I went over, I called front desk. I was like, hey, behavior, I want you to come up and get these kids out. Named up my name. I said, get them out right now. They're not allowed to be in my room. And all of a sudden with that, they got real quiet. And of course, behavior came in. And before behavior got to step in, I got to say my piece. And I was not nice about it. I was sharp, and those kids after that, I feel like I earned some respect points because I was like, we're not doing that. We are not doing that. Hey, Kevin, how are you? So yeah, on the bus, I can't imagine our bus driver. He has I've got probably, so I put the kids on the bus, right? Hey, bud, I put the kids on the bus, but he drives them around and does that thing. So hopefully at your school, does a teacher help put the kids on the bus and kind of help with certain areas of control? Because I'd hope that's the case. I don't know how they do it in middle school. I don't, because I'm back to elementary, so it's a little bit different. But I will quickly, like, hey, go put on your seatbelts, go where you're supposed to go, you know. And I try to help out my bus driver as much as possible. As much as possible. It's important. It's important. Okay. All right, so that's our area. So this would go right in here. That's going to go right over that trap door. And so you've got a complete access from the bottom floor behind the clock, goes all the way up past the bathroom, up into this seance room. So story-wise and storytelling, our man here, that whatever he did, bad dude. And I'm thinking it's here. Let me pull it up. I'm thinking it's this dad, because if you look, there we go. If you look on the picture, you've got this cool printed brick here. If you look on the picture, there's the dad. He's holding the bear. And he's got a little bit of a mischievous look. And there's, of course, the kid and the mom. You got a picture of the girl with the bear over on the wall, and the picture's kind of off kilter. And then you've got the bear on the floor. So we got the bear on the floor, and it's all beat up and it's cut up, right? And then you got the seance room, and you got these monster things coming out of different areas. Makes me think the dad was up to no good. And I say that because it's tied back. There's like a crystal ball, which is tied back. It looks like to the Old West set with the fortune teller. So there's some cool like storytelling stuff with this. I dig this one a lot. You know, at first I didn't quite. I was like, I mean, I wanted it, and it was one that I knew I was going to get, but I think that first day with some of the problems I was getting with like missing the bag and not paying attention to what I was doing, I was like, okay, I got some issues. All right, we do have an addendum for 235, so I got to remember when we get 235, I need to look and see what that is. So we've got one of our clip bricks here, so let's find it. There we go. This might actually be our last one. So Lumi's got these little bricks here that's like a wire guide. Pretty cool stuff to have. So it looks like we're bringing our wire over, and I'm gonna count it. We got 1, 2, 3. So this is gonna turn 90. It's gonna go 1, 2, 3 right here. I'm gonna turn that a little bit. Anytime I'm working on wires, I'm always hesitant. I'm like, oh, I don't want to mess it up. And it's true, I really don't. But you know, I will say this. I've had some issues. I broke a battery box one time. Hey, Pocket Pals. I broke a battery box one time, and what else? Oh, I've had a missing brick, and I have contacted Lumibricks, and they have sent me replacements. So I've had to use them twice. For one time where a battery box got broken, they sent it to me. Ended up sending me 2 of them actually, so I have a backup if I ever need it. And then and I thought I might have needed it the other day because I got a story to tell you all. But anyways, let me find. I got one more. Let me find this part and I'll tell you the story. There it is. Okay. So, I I wasn't live streaming. I was like just recording some videos on, and I was kind of hanging out with the kid. And I have this Minecraft sword, so it's a Halloween Minecraft sword. And I was like, hey, you know, he was like, can I take this play with it? I'm like, sure. And it's hanging up on the wall, but just by a couple little push pins. And this poor set. So this set, you know, it wasn't my favorite build, okay, because it had some issues with it, and that was the Cowboy Camp by Lumibricks. And it's like, I like it, and I really want to like it, but there were like some things like, why is the battery box on the stagecoach and not on the camp itself? And I understand kind of what they were thinking, but I was like, I didn't care as much for it. I kind of wish it had been switched. Well, that was one thing. And the second thing was, I was like, well, we've got so 235. We're going to turn this way. This one will go 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I'm glad I looked at that addendum. There's a few things that have changed. So what it was is he decided, he was like, I'm going to hang the sword back up. I was like, cool. Yeah, go take care of it. So he hung the sword up, but it didn't stay. And so the sword came down like a missile. Wham! Right into the hold on, I've got something not working over here. Booklet cam is all messed up. Right into the Cowboy Camp and a lot of my Old West stuff. And I mean, it just smashed all these pieces. I'm like, no. And so I was, hold on, I'm trying to fix, apparently all my cameras on my live feed have all died on my other channels, so I'm like resetting some cameras here in the middle of the live feed. Yeah. And so it was like one of those where we were searching for parts, and I had already reached out to him about getting a replacement board for like one piece. And he was like, I'm so sorry. And I'm like, it's okay. And it was a rough week, but I'm like, it's okay. We'll get it. And so he helped me find the parts, and he was like, you want me to sit here and help you put it back together? I'm like, I got it. I'm going to work on getting these things set. And it basically, what happened was we had missing parts. And so I was like, okay, this is how it's going to be. I'm just going to have to dig through the box and find what I can and like replace it that way. It'll just be different colors, because these colors were specific to Lumibricks. And I had already lost at work. I lost another part from a Lego build that I had, and so I was already upset about some things. I was like, this is ridiculous. You know, I was up at work, the part shot off of a car while I was, you know, on my lunch break. And sometimes I'll take like little sets with me and work while I'm on my lunch break. I'll just kind of rebuild some things or rebuild a set, or, you know, just play a little bit to kind of get my focus back. Well, I ended up finally finding this part, and I was super excited. I was like, hey, that's awesome. And so I found the part, and I was like, things are already looking up. And I decided, I said, you know what? I said, I'm going to go over here to this one little corner in the hallway, and I'm going to check and clean. And lo and behold, it was there behind a bunch of stuff. And not just like, because I thought it was one part that I was missing. Come to find out, it was a bottle, it was a brick, it was a plate, and one of the little vent greebly things. And we found them all. And I'm like, yes! I was like, I'm looking up, Lord. Thank you so much. So I was super happy. I was like, that actually makes my day so much better now. So I was super excited. So I was happy to have it all back together, but that sword came down. It is no longer there. It is going to another spot. I cannot believe that my camera over here is just absolutely having the hardest time. You know, I'm going to turn that one off. So let me fix this real quick. Hey, yeah, YouTube, Twitch, if you hear me, guys, you can sound off. I apologize. My cameras are giving me such a problem. I don't even know. I'm looking to see. I normally, checking my channels here, I normally have people commenting and doing stuff, but I haven't seen anything yet. So it tells me right now that there's some issues. Let's do this. Let me go. I'm going to deactivate the camera again. Activate it and get that up and going. Sometimes this whole computer has to restart, and I'll probably keep